flag of the United States of America and to the republics for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, and before we get started, Commissioner Steinberg reminded us today about the tragic events that we had this last week from the loss of life of the ambush of our deputy. And if we can please all stand and rise for a moment of silence in his honor and his name and for the repose of his soul, and that his family find healing in such difficult time. Thank you. All right, members, let's take our seats. Remember to silence your cell phones, including me, to make sure that we don't have anything to disrupt this meeting. Madam Attorney, can you please walk us through the agenda now?
Sure. Now would be the appropriate time to offer a reasonable opportunity for the public to be heard on all non-public hearing items, Mr.
And
Chairman.
before we do that, let's take a roll call, make sure that we have the presence of a quorum. Madam Clerk?
Good afternoon. Commissioner Bastien. Here. Commissioner McGee.
Here.
Commissioner Regalado. Vice Chairwoman Steinberg. Chairman Garcia.
Present.
4 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Madam Attorney, now we will go to public hearing. Reasonable opportunity. Do we have any folks from the audience that will like to testify before the committee today? Seeing none, I guess the reasonable opportunity to be heard will be closed. Madam Attorney, where do we go next?
The matters to be considered on today's agenda are those listed in the official agenda. There are no additions at this time. Commissioner McGee has requested deferral of item 3C to no date certain. That deferral can be set with the setting of the agenda.
Okay, members, do we have any omissions, any additions, any pulling to set the agenda? Madam Bastien, Commissioner Bastien, you move, I heard that you moved to set the agenda. Commissioner McGee is second. All right. With that moves, seeing no opposition, let's show the agenda adopted. Madam Attorney?
The first item on your agenda is a discussion item, 1F.
Let's go ahead and move that to the end. Let's get to the agenda, if you don't mind. I want to to get to the agenda first so we can bring that up after.
The next item on your agenda is agenda item 2A, the ordinance relating to the Children's Trust, amending Chapter 2 of the Code of Miami-Dade County, revising membership of the governing board and term limits to conform with the amendments to Section 125.901 Florida statutes, providing severability, inclusion in the code, and an effective date.
And members, we're just conforming to state statutes, so this is what this amendment does. It updates some of the membership on the board, and it gives, I think, the mayor also a designee to the Children's Trust. That's where we are with this item.
I'll move the item, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you,
Mr.
Commissioner.
Chairman, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, no, I think it's great, and I'm happy to support the item. I just had a question. I had a board member reach out wanting to know if we're doing any sort of amendment to also include a provision that maybe has, if not required, aspirational, that all appointees reside in Miami-Dade County. So I don't know if the attorneys have a suggestion. I know I spoke to them earlier briefly.
Yes, Commissioner Steinberg moves to include an aspirational requirement with respect to the appointments by position to request that the appointing entity consider appointing a Miami-Dade County resident.
I'm sorry, say that again.
She'd like, there's a bucket of Children's Trust members who are appointed by position, for example, the State Attorney's Office, FIU, and Commissioner Steinberg would like to include an aspirational requirement that when the Children's Trust solicit a member by position, that they include that they consider appointing a Miami-Dade County resident.
Perfect. Any objection to that amendment? Seeing no objection, show the amendment adopted. So we're now back on the.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much for this item. I do understand that we are honoring state mandate, right, with this item, but I'm concerned about the fact that we will not have like representation from the community, right? From the social community organizations. I was one of the founding members of the Children's Trust. I was the general coordinator at inception, and also when we voted for the Children's Trust to be funded perpetuity. And I know the impact that the community input had on making sure that these resources become available, and especially in this at this time of great crisis and upheaval in our neighborhoods. I think their input is important. I wonder if there is a way we could create a space for us to have this feedback from at least one, if not from one person, but at least from a committee, to advise the Children's Trust or share, find a way or create a space for them to give their feedback, even though they may not be officially on the board. I think the input of the community is extremely important. I wonder if there is a way, Mr. Attorney, Madam Attorney, if there is a way we could either urge the administration or to engage in a discussion with Children's Trust to be able to have access to this feedback, community feedback.
I'm a little confused. I mean, would you like information to come back to the board as to what's happening with the Children's Trust? Do you want more input from community? Because the Children's Trust is the board itself. As a founding member too, I was a board member, one of the first board members. It's the craziest thing to think that. And that's thanks to David Lawrence. God bless him. Thank you, David, for opening my eyes to the necessity of children in this community. There is a bunch of different community-based organizations as on the board. What more are you looking to do? If it's a communication, just trying to follow?
I definitely would like the administration to work with the Children's Trust to make sure that we have a way to get this community input. This is not something that needs to come back to the board, but I'm just concerned about the fact that we are removing that one person who represented the community and the different community organizations. And I definitely think that we could benefit. We need their input. How else do we get their input if we don't have anyone representing the community on the board? And like I said, and I think that my dear friend Dave Lawrence, is a very sage man, and then I worked with him. He was the one who brought me on to the Children's Trust as a coordinator with the late Congresswoman Carrie Meek. And then community input is still very important to the Children's Trust Board. I'm just inquiring about a way where we can still have this community input.
Thank you. Maybe, please come, because I think they have. Yeah, they have this, I see here, this says members at large as appointed by a majority of the city members of the Children's Trust. I think that could be, they have community members on there.
Yes, so the Children's Trust Board
Can
is...
you name a name and address for the record? It's not for me, but.
Oh, sorry. Amanda Gorski, the Children's Trust, Miami-Dade County, 3150 Southwest, 8th floor, 33129. So the Children's Trust has a 33-member board. It's divided pretty much in three groups. One of them is the 7 gubernatorial appointments. The other one is 5 at-large seats that represent members of the community throughout Miami-Dade County, and the remaining are appointed based on their position due to the institution they represent.
You said there are 5 members represented in where are they? What
At-large seats, or at-large seats represent the members throughout the community, and they come from all over Miami-Dade County.
And then how are they placed on the board?
So there's a nominating committee, and they go through an application process, and then they're appointed through the nominating committee.
They're appointed through the board itself. The board
Yes.
appoints, they vote on them. Okay.
Yes, sir, yes.
Do you have the name of the organizations that they represent?
I don't currently have them on me, but I can share them with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look.
Mr. Bastien, let's do this. If you're not giving the answers that you're looking for, then bring back something to the board, and we'll work on it with you, because I think it's important to have community input. I think we do have it within this new structure, because I don't like what they did, but it is what it is, and if we need to add something, we'll be more than happy to do it your way. Is
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
that fair?
Thank you, Madam.
Right, thank you. Then, with that, so that amendment, that item amended, any objections to the item as amended? Seeing none, so the item passes. Madam Attorney?
A roll call vote?
Oh, we need a roll call vote on that. Yeah. That's right.
For 2A, 2A supplement, and 2A supplement number 2, to be clear.
Correct.
Chair, we also need a second for that. I have Commissioner McGee as the mover.
Commissioner Steinberg?
Thank you. Commissioner Bastian,
Yes.
Commissioner McGee,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Steinberg, Chairman Garcia.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Madam Attorney?
Mr. Chairman, your next item is a resolution directing the county mayor's designee to evaluate the feasibility of creating an online portal for dog owners to electronically submit required status updates and pay fees relating to pet registration and requiring reports.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do believe we've had an ample amount of time to review these particular remaining resolutions. Mr. Chairman, at this particular moment, I would make a motion to move the balance of the agenda with the exception of 1F1 that you stated earlier.
I'll second it.
Yes, and if I can show as a co-sponsor to Commissioner Steinberg's item 3G. It's been a long time in the making. Congratulations finally getting this to where it is today.
Yes, I was going to pull it to make a comment, but let's just pass it.
No, just make a comment right now.
I think it is a long time coming, and so I appreciate
Do me a
that.
favor, what is the item?
3G.
We're fine, item number, yes.
3G, but just so the public can know what we're talking about.
Yes, so the public is aware of 3G, which is an agreement that we're finally going to have a restaurant and concessionaire over at Hallover. It is a very long time coming, and it was an arduous lift over the years. It started with my predecessor, and it's finally here today, so I'm happy that we're able to pass it out of committee.
That's awesome.
And you made the second on the motion also?
Sure.
Okay.
No, actually, Marlene did.
Molly? Okay.
All right, so seeing the balance of the agenda being moved, please, do we call roll call, or is it, all right, voice vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No, see no, all opposed? See the balance of the agenda passed. Now we're on discussion of parks, I think something very important. I recently had the pleasure of meeting with park personnel and the mayor's office to find out what is happening with our parks, and I do have a couple of questions that we can start having that conversation. My understanding, Mr. Coley, is that when we had our budget hearings, we were under the impression that parks were going to be held pretty much harmless, except with a couple of variations. But based on our meeting, I would like to please put on the record, you know, how many staff members were cut from parks? Where were they placed? Did they go elsewhere? I'm going to ask these questions on the record right now. Maybe you can write them down, and hopefully you can get those answers to us. But I want to make sure the public and the public is aware as to the situation of our parks and what's going on. So one of them is house staff. How many house staff members were cut from parks? Where were they placed, if elsewhere? What positions were cut? What is the operational impact of those reductions? And again, like I was under the impression that parks budget was mainly restored. The capital projects, what is happening on capital projects, not just immediate Earhart Park, what's happening across the whole system?
May I be recognized, sir?
Absolutely.
If you'd allow, Mr. Chairman, I would like to give a little basic overview of where we are on the capital for parks. And then I'll ask the Parks Director to speak to the specific numbers of people that were moved out of operations. So first of all of our large parks projects are financed. And they're financed in one of two ways. It either comes from a GEO bond, which, as you know, we had a GEO bond multi-billion-dollar program for various things in the county, and all of that money is spoken for. So Any other major parks project is coming from what is called in our financial planning future financing. In future financing, we have about 3 different categories. We have what most people talk about is the CIP plan, the Countywide Infrastructure Improvement Plan, which is where most of our parks money comes from. We also, in that future financing, we have Quality Neighborhood Improvement Program, which some of that can be used in parks, but that's a very minor part. And then we have other designated projects as part of future financing that is not parks. It's things like jails and whatnot that has nothing to do with parks. So all of the parks projects that we have has to come in one of these financing mechanisms. Now, we are required that only non-ad valorem revenues are allowable to pay debt for this financing. So we go to the bonds and we can only use non-ad valorem taxes. And the reason why that's important is in this past year.
May you explain to the public what non-ad valorem taxes means?
I'm sorry, thank you, sir, for that. Ad valorem tax is property tax, and so non-ad valorem would be any tax that's not property tax or that's not designated for something else. So in this past year, the state and House Bill 7031, they reduced the county's non-ad valorem tax by $26.2 million. We also had decreased utility fees and decreased interest.
When did that bill pass?
Pardon?
When did that bill pass?
I believe that bill passed between our budget meetings, but I don't have the date noted. I can return you with that date.
We have to be careful because the budgets, the session ends in, the budget for the state starts July 1st, correct? So session ended this year when? In May. Our budget hearings did not start too much later. Continue.
We received a total of $64.9 million in reduced revenue to the county that would have been non-ad valorem. That $64.9 million was not all intended to go for future finance, and some of it paid for other services. But a big portion of that was, and that reduced our entire PROS budget. Now, the total CIIP, which is the Countywide Infrastructure Improvement Plan for parks, it's a multi-year plan, but it's the total amount is over $369 million. This year, there is $68 million in the 25-26 budget for this plan, and as of this budget, there was $73 million total removed from the program due to those other budget cuts that we just talked about. So that is what set us up for where everything that has been talked about in the past as future financing can't be funded this year, it has to be delayed. And that's why we're where we are on the capital. Now Director White is here if you would like to be told the numbers of folks that were moved and what they did with them. And
I appreciate your explanation. I just would like to know where in the budget books that was found, because the state budget was adopted and approved, and it goes into effect on June 1st, July 1st. We started having our budget analysis after all these analyses were brought to, I would assume, and maybe it's wrong for me to assume, that our budget director was following what was happening in Tallahassee, and our legislative team was following what was happening in Tallahassee and sending the information back to us. That did not show up in any of our budget books. So to me, before I go down that rabbit hole, which I will wait to have a conversation with the mayor, because I have not had a conversation with the mayor, and I will give the mayor the benefit of the doubt for now, but I would like to have a conversation with her. We've requested a meeting with her, and we're waiting to get that meeting on the books. So to the director, to the budget director's office, and to the commissioners that are up here, I think this is some of the frustrations that we have voiced on the dais about not getting the information, the accurate information to us so we can make important decisions that impact the well-being of the residents of Miami-Dade County. So with that, I will proceed with Madam Director, and see if we could answer some of those questions that pertain to everyone up here, not just to the largest regional park in the county, Amelia Earhart Park.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Christina White, Pros Director. So to your question, we eliminated 49 full-time positions from the department. So where we stand today is 1,571 full-time. I will tell you that in doing that, we took a really hard look at our table of organization and structured in a way where we feel that we were able to find some efficiencies, and so therefore should be largely transparent to the public and to our park patrons. So what I mean by that is the majority of them are administrative staff. We reduced the communications team, management staff for the most part. Of those 49 positions, last I heard, 46 of them were placed in other positions throughout the county, so we feel very good and successful in that, and we are in the process of assisting the last few people to at least try to get them a part-time position, something in the meantime.
Okay, Madam Director, I have all these questions here. If you can put these, if you want, I'll give them to you, so you can look into it. I know you're relatively new to parks, and I will work with you, give you some time so you could make sure we could address these questions to this committee. Committee members, do any of you have any particular questions for the director?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair, for this report, requesting this report. Madam Christine, thank you for the information. Of the 49 full-time positions that were cut, where in what area? What kind of positions are they? Where were these people?
Where did they go? Is your question?
No. What positions did they have in the department?
So you may remember. There's management staff, right? We did have some recreation center management that was, in a sense, duplicative with our park managers, so we did eliminate some of those positions. As I said, our communications team was reduced, administrative staff within the department. We did have a couple of our lifeguards at our H-hole pools and our lakefront. Maybe you remember that discussion from the budget cycle, but that really is only going to impact off-peak times, so we were able to restore that. Some positions at the tennis center at Crandon, we do have a plan for that. We're going to hopefully get a program partner in place to take over and actually enhance services for the residents there. So like I said, I didn't say, but during the budget process, we really tried to be as surgical as we possibly could and find the cuts that we were charged with making, having the least possible impact on the community.
Yeah. So in our meeting last week, we discussed issues pertaining to security with our pools, lifeguards, and the security systems in the different parks. Was anyone from these positions removed?
And thank you, because you're right. I forgot to mention the 3 security guards. They are in there. We did not eliminate any lifeguards from pools. So I want to make sure that like our pools that are within our facilities, like our Cola Lakes where we were, all of those lifeguards remain in place. I want to make sure that is clear. This was a very limited number in very specialized types of pools, only during off-peak hours. But you're right. There were 3 security guards that we did have to reduce from the budget. And we have placed those 3 sites on the same protocols as all of our other sites, which are roving security guards. But we have, in addition to that, our park rangers, as we talked about, and also the park staff that does their own roving.
Yeah, so I understand that you will bring me a report with more clarifications on those, right?
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to this meeting with you, and also the mayor regarding the different cuts and the impact on the different parks, not only in his district, but also in District 2. So I'm looking forward to this report, and I also is, asking for a meeting with the mayor, to meet with the mayor on that. Thank you so much.
Listen, Ms. White, and I appreciate you standing before us. I'm not going to belabor the point. I have requested I sent a memo to the mayor's office that asked for detailed information on the countywide infrastructure on the SIP program. amounts for the last 5 years, from 2020 to right now, to current. A detailed analysis of the budget amounts and actual expenditures in SIP for those years. The projects with the corresponding amount funded, not funded, and unfunded for the 5-year period by the commission districts. A detailed analysis of SIP for the current fiscal year 25-26, amount funded and not funded, and subsequent funding changes such as reapportion of available funds, identifying all newly funded and defunded projects by commission district, and projections of SIP for the next 5 years. While I'm very extremely disappointed as to the news that I received about Amelia Earhart Park, the largest regional park in Miami-Dade County, that has been underfunded for many years, and has been an area that serves Hispanics and African Americans alike, and low middle to lower middle class community that deserves much better, much better. This is not just about Amelia Earhart Park. I'm not making it about that one park. I'm making it about every single commission district's parks and the parks in general. So this is why this memo went out. And again, I will have the conversation with the mayor when the mayor grants me the meeting to talk about parks and talk about a better way to make sure that we do a better job for parks. Everyone that's listening to me right now understands the value of parks. We knew what happened during COVID. COVID showed us the one place you don't want to touch is parks. I understand the CBOs. You have a great deal of passion for the CBOs, as do I. I co-sponsored your legislation, and we talked about making sure that we fund the CBOs, and now we're trying to figure out a way to have a dedicated funding source, and I appreciate your leadership on that. However, one of the functions of governments, especially local governments, streets, water, and recreational activities, and parks is one of them. And to me, it hurts me to see the direction that we may be going. And knowing the role that parks played during COVID, and now we're going back on some of these promises that we made to this community. So with that, members of this community and to committee members, I'm not going to belabor the point on Amelia Earhart Park. A battle that I will take on for the residents of Northwest Dade, that include a couple of us up here that are close to that area. I will continue that battle to make sure that we have our fair share of the pot. So I really appreciate that this memo gets answered. I know you're going to be responsible for answering a lot of these questions. I think this information should be readily available, especially the historical information, historical numbers, and I would like that to come back to us in a timely manner. I think we put on the memo by November 21st. Mr. Coley, if that, I think it's a reasonable ask of this commission, of this committee, to ask for this information, and I think, let me know no, it should get done. I'm not asking if it can or cannot get done. It should be able to get done by that time. Fair? Yes, sir. And with that, Commissioner Bastien?
Yeah, so I want to thank you again, Mr. Chair, for requesting this report. I'm anxiously waiting for it. In D2, for example, over 30 projects, 30 funded projects were defunded, and we just found out 30 were defunded. So I'm looking to meet with the mayor and then to find out what happened and then and why. So I'm looking forward to these reports and then to continue engaging you to make sure. And then D2 parks have always been underfunded too, just as the Amelia Park. And I was really impressed to see how big it was when we went for an event there. I didn't realize it was so huge. Very nice park. So we want to make sure that not only that our parks are funded, that they are representative of our residents who have been asking for us to do better, especially the parks in D2, and we talked about that. And I'm looking forward to this report. But most importantly, I want to know how come parks, over 40 projects were funded, were defunded. Only 6 now are funded. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why. So I'm looking forward to a meeting with you, with the mayor, for me to get some answers for D2. And hopefully the chair will get answers for the Amelia.
The answer's going to be for all of us, okay? And the answer's for all of us. The important thing, and And we have to be careful when we use, it's what happened in Tallahassee, because I'm seeing it right now publicly, what happened in Tallahassee came way before our budget talks happened. So somewhere along the lines, we need to be able to connect the dots a little better and give information to the county commission when we're doing budget talks. So, and be careful when we do handshakes on budget deals and commit certain things, and then those certain things are not kept. But anyway, that's politics. It's not my type of politics, but it's politics. So with that, I want to leave on a good note. Amelia Earhart Park will be hosting the Ripley's Believe It or Not Christmas Park. That is the first time that we do something this big in Northwest Dade. So I'm really excited to bring that to Northwest Dade. It starts on Thursday, I believe, and it runs for the next 3 weeks, I think till January, the beginning week in January. So I'm really excited to do that. Christine, Ms. White, and your staff would appreciate, I thank you for your help in making sure this happens. David Carvalho at Amelia Earhart Park and Diallo and everyone has been phenomenal. I thank you for their help, and I'm glad I was able to put a smile on your face at the end here, and put a smile on everyone's face, because I'm not here to antagonize. I just want to make sure we do things right and give the right information to us. But this is something that's great that's happening in Northwest Dade, and it's happening at Amelia Earhart Park. So it's called the Ripley's Believe It or Not Christmas Park. It's Christmas with a twist, and I will let the commissioners. Yeah, in fact, it's pretty cool. It's a little twisted.
We're all looking forward to Crazy Christmas, I think is what it's called.
Yes, we're looking exactly. So, Commissioner Bastian.
Yeah, unfortunately, that we're gonna end on a sad note. We forgot to mention the death of Officer Devin Jaramillo in the line of duty. Yes.
We talked about at the beginning. We the moment of silence at the beginning.
Well, but there's a second officer who died,
Second officer.
who got killed.
Oh, the Miami Beach.
The Miami Beach. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I
So-
apologize. I did not. That happened 2 weeks ago.
So,
2 weeks ago. If we could stand, please.
So-
Let's do that. Let's please call for a moment of silence.
and then we wanna send special thoughts and prayers to the family.
Please, absolutely. Thank you. And with that, I'm gonna have to do it on a happy note. Remember the Christmas park at Amelia Earhart Park. All right. God bless you. Thank you for reminding us. It starts out Thursday and it goes for the next 3 weeks. It goes out to Christmas. This Thursday, but I'll let you guys know. I will. All right. Thank you, Christina, Madam Director, Mr. Coley, park staff. You guys are phenomenal back there. Thank you for the work you do every single day to bring our parks. Give our parks respect, not only here, but across the country. God bless you all. Thank you.
Yon nan moun yo te invite pou servi nan premier komite pou chwazi FDA.
Yon ekip 15 membres te établi pour Art and Public Places pour superviser programme nan. Membres volontaires yo, c'est